and go across the river. Do you know which road is safe?
Yes, we can escort you to the river.
There'll be a checkpoint. How could we pass?
I think I got that from his whole split personality shit.
Yeah.
Like whatever name, like you'll notice
Oh, I wish.
they'll be under different names. So like one track will say Lo-Fi Jimmy, another track will say Moody Harrelson, and there's like a different feel to it. Lo-Fi Jimmy's usually a little slower.
Yeah.
Moody Harrelson's a little darker.
Okay. Yeah, I got a
You
friend.
start noticing that.
His name is Ish.
Yeah.
He has Magic Rivers, and then but he has like a split personality where it's Jameson Brown, and he does like drum and bass, but he doesn't like really talk about it. Sorry. But on that note, welcome to the bump, guys. So this is a special edition with my homie Jamie. We've known each other for a long time, since middle school,
7th grade. at
Air
least.
Bristow days.
Yeah.
With Coach Epstein.
Yeah.
Right?
Man.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Shout out to John B.
Yeah.
Like too as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The Twin Towers back then.
Right? But yeah, basically Jamie here is I think an amazing producer and just
Appreciate
music maker. Goes by a few different monikers. We're talking about Lo-Fi Jimmy on the down low, on the real slow. And we also got Moody Harrelson, aka what other not monikers you go
Shit,
by?
I gotta look on the SoundCloud. I forget. We got Moody Harrelson. We just said Black Jamie. We can explain that. There was a lot of Jamies at Coronado. I was the only black one.
There were a few Jamies.
We got Moody Huxtable. That's a little touchy considering the person who named, Huxtable, Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Mood Boy, Rude Boy, Holland Kid, same thing.
Yeah. Goes by many names, but all dope and across the board. So, I just kind of want to dive, just start in the beginning, like when you, obviously, I kind of talk about it too, like I got influenced by people around me, events and stuff. So like growing up, like what did you start listening to? Like, stuff that your parents were playing or,
So, my mom, so I'm 28. My mom's 68. She had me at 40.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. She was born in 1950, the South, Mississippi.
Wow.
You kind of picture what's going on in that era. This is Jim Crow. Like, let's just be honest. So one song I remember listening to a lot growing up is A Change Gonna Come by Sam Cooke.
Okay.
That was played heavy. It was on rotation heavy.
Yeah.
It's the struggle song, Black Fist. My mom played a lot of Barry White. So growing up until around 3 years old, all I remember hearing is soul music, Michael Jackson, Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of soul, a lot of funk. Roy Ayers.
Ooh.
Right? Like,
That ubiquity.
bro, my mom had like vinyl on top of vinyl, but all that shit got lost in the storage. Once, but yeah.
Imagine if you had that, that'd be dope.
By 3, like I had to make notes about it. My first hip hop experience, like no order, NWA Express Yourself was one of the first songs I remember hearing. I still so you pick somebody in there, Dr. Dre obviously, but because of NWA, I fuck with Ice Cube heavy.
Yeah.
And have for a very long time.
Damn.
Shout out to Donovan.
Donovan, wow. I remember that. Wow.
I think that was 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
He let me borrow the Ice Cube Greatest Hit CD. I never gave that shit back. Had that on rotation on my Walkman when you burned me crunk music or crunk juice.
It was Crunk Juice.
Crunk juice.
Crunk Juice.
And Encore Eminem. We'll get into that in a little bit. Another first hip hop array, Naughty by Nature.
Oh, okay.
OPP. Oh man, and this is
Feel
back
Me Flow.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I was about to say that. Feel Me
I
Flow.
love that song.
I want to say that was late 90s. But
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Again, those are my early experiences. Now, we've been talking about Eminem a lot recently.
Yes.
I heard Eminem like super early because I had a cousin who had did you know when he was on Ruckus Records?
No.
This is like early. So he fucked, I'm not sure if he was in the group or if he fucked with them, but he was affiliated with the Outsiders who was on that group.
Okay.
I believe Mos Def and fucking Talib, whatever their group was called. Is it Black Star?
Yeah, it is Black Star.
I believe they were on there as well. like, so making a long story short, I had a cousin who had a tape for, I can't even remember what it was called, but Eminem was on it. Had a song, Any Man, if you ever heard it.
No.
Any man would jump in front of a minivan. I can't remember it. I'm not going to fuck it up. I'm not going to butcher it. But that song, I heard that at like 8 something. This was like late 90s. I heard Eminem before like Slim Shady LP.
Yeah.
But like I told you earlier, that was the first album I ever bought.
Damn.
I was one of those kids he mentioned, you know, buying things without, they're like selling it to me, a little kid with the parental advisory sticker.
Really?
Karen. So
damn, I wanted to go buy my Nelly CD and I had to get the Walmart censored version.
Damn. Okay. See, I don't know. Maybe we were just in the hood. They just didn't care.
Well, did you live in Phoenix? When
yeah,
you lived?
back
Okay.
then. Yeah. So getting more into it, I was born in Mesa. I think it's a Banner Health now, across from MCC.
Yeah.
But it was a Desert Samaritan back then. I was born there.
Okay.
Shouts out to my doctor who delivered me, because his name has always made me laugh. It's Dr. Seaman. Not spelled that way, but
yeah,
still makes me laugh when I think about that.
Right.
But yeah.
So you grew up listening to, you know, soulful music, funk, R&B, kind of transitioned into like Eminem and stuff. What's something that like you listen to, but like people wouldn't say, "Oh, James listened to"? I mean, like you walked in with the Daft Punk shirt, and I was like, "Damn!" Like
that's definitely one.
You know, and
I was looking for the shirt, and I almost wore the hat. Shout out to Grandpa, but I was gonna wear my Pink Floyd shirt. To this day, I remember I was with Amici once, and I was wearing a Pink Floyd shirt, and then this girl's like, "You don't listen to Pink Floyd," and like I for real got offended because I fuck with Pink Floyd heavy. Again, early YouTube, like you remember No Ads YouTube.
Yeah.
I found I believe it's called Dark Side of the Rainbow, something like that. It's Pink Floyd over Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I was just talking about it's the movie and it syncs perfectly.
Thank you. I saw that.
It's so trippy.
Freshman year or something like that, sophomore year.
Yeah.
Around the same time. Shout out to Jordan Fox. I'm a juggernaut bitch. I'm the juggernaut bitch, I should say. If you remember that, we used to fucking watch that. But that's what I'm talking about. Around that time is when I found that. So I fell in love with Pink Floyd early high school. Before that, I listened to Beatles. I mean, I heard Pink Floyd too back, you know, growing up. But really got into it in high school. Yeah, Pink Floyd would be the one thing people would see me and not think I listened to.
Yeah.
Daft Punk is another one, which always surprises people. But I'm like, have you listened? Like, it's Daft Punk, man. Come on.
And that's funny because like today I was talking about, I was talking about the whole tribute show they're having to Mark Van Buren, and I was talking with a coworker, and I was just like, I'm gonna see a Daft Punk tribute show tomorrow, and he's like gross, and I was like, what? Like, how do you not like Daft Punk?
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's just like different strokes for different folks. Like, you know.
It's like, because what we were saying in the group chat about like this end of the decade thing, like music's so subjective. Like even like I was telling you, my top 10 might like throw you off because personally, shit's up there for me. So
and I feel like it's music to me. It kind of has like no boundaries. I mean, people can find inspiration in so many different like genres and stuff. I mean, you look at rappers like, you know, I have the Kid Cudi album right there. Like, Kid Cudi is a person who, like, listens to the Chili Peppers, who listens to, like, he was talking about, like, I think he was in rehab or, like, something, and he was listening to, like, the new Chili Peppers album.
Okay.
And he said that's what got me through. But he, like, fucks with, like, MGMT and, like, stuff like that. And then you look at stuff like, do you remember Mr. Gerchik? Or English teacher?
I fuck with Mr. Gerchik. Shouts out to him. He let me, what that? Fahrenheit 451?
Ooh.
We were supposed to turn that shit. I didn't turn that shit in. And he let me take it.
I love that. I
appreciate that.
But yeah, like, so like he was the guy who like taught me about Coachella, taught me about like NWA, rap music, and then he would show me stuff like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he was big on Bob Dylan, and I fucked with, so me and him kind of clicked on that because I fucked with Bob Dylan too.
Yeah, and so like I didn't know, like I never thought I would listen to like folk music or anything like that. But then he showed us like a couple videos, and two of them that stick out to my mind. One is like he showed us the Hurricane video, like of him and Hurricane Carter, and he's talking about like, you know, his how he's wrongly like accused and stuff of murder. And then he showed me the video where he's like rapping and he has like the cars, and I was like, damn, Bob Dylan is rapping. This is like 70s or whatever, you know what I mean? And he's rapping.
He was with the shits, man.
Yeah. So
it's
like
to be like, because we had Gerchik together.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, music kind of has no boundaries, and you know, I think people who I don't know, are closed-minded about it, I feel like they're missing out on something. You know?
For sure. Even though I don't like country, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, and I feel you on that. I'm not big on country. You know, I like if Johnny Cash counts as country, maybe
it does. I guess it does, and I fuck with Johnny Cash. Even Ray Charles, especially some of his early stuff, counts as country.
Yeah,
I fuck with Ray Charles. So.
And that's the thing. Like even artists like that, like Stevie Wonder, Wonder's sound changed so much throughout history. Like even you know, there's some other artists too that just like you listen to them and you hear that progression and that change
for sure.
And they're influenced by different things. You know,
bro. I think I posted that shit on Twitter. Drake is a perfect example of that. Somebody said something, I can't even remember what it was. Something about how Drake, like the sound of today wouldn't be without Drake, but you wouldn't have Drake without 808s. And he's admitted that. Before 808s, this man was on some backpack shit with Ninth Wonder and Little Brother. So
he had those freestyles, on Heartbreak Drake and all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's the way artists can progress is it's amazing, honestly. And from the start, and I'm not saying at the end, but from the start to the prime is completely different sometimes. So.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like listening to some of your music, because I started listening to you a few years ago when I discovered that you were making music and stuff. How do you feel that your sound has changed or been influenced by like stuff that you've been listening to, or like how it's progressed throughout the years?
Man, so I've low key been doing this almost 10 years, to be honest. I always fuck with so like you, Jordan is another one. There's a lot of people like support me and like fuck with my music, and it surprises me because I don't think I'm that good. For example, Meech has been telling me, like, been on my ass telling me I need to like get serious about it. And there's been a few times, like we were talking about Willie North Pole earlier. There's been a few times where I was serious. About Willie North Pole. We'll play that beat a little later, but I was talking about Old Money. That's one of those. You'll hear the progression. I sampled Hall & Oates. What's the song? Said money won't get to that song. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, sampled that for that, and just when you hear it, you can hear what when I talk about myself, it makes me sound like big headed, but you can hear how much better I got. Yeah, you can hear that progression from like I'm gonna play Month Later. Okay, that sounds funny. But, I'm gonna play that later, or Smile, for example. Okay, yeah, and you can just hear like the way I chop is different, but you can still hear that in the beginning. Because Old Money was made in Scottsdale Public Library, the Civic Center Library, right next to Amici. Like we were in a booth or something, not a booth, one of the soundproof rooms. The study rooms or whatever. Like we need to do that shit again too, because we have some hits. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So you started making music 10 years ago and stuff, and now you're feeling like, do you feel like you would want people to like, use, like, I think we were talking earlier, so you're saying like you were interested to find out who used your music without your permission to create something. So like, do you think you're ready at that level to like hear people like rap or sing over your music? Like, is that something you would like to do? Shouts out to Meech, because one of these days both of us need to get on and just talk about how we kind of came up together and then kind of split and then came back, because he currently has, you've heard Daft Punkish, which also might be called Bible. I can't decide names at the time. It might be called Bible Study, might be called This House, but right now he's mixing and mastering it for me. So yeah, like, what was I even about to say? So we were talking about like how. My bad. No, you're good. So we're talking about like how, if you're prepared to like hear people on your songs. Yeah, I was about to say shouts out to Meech, because he was at the show that we went to. I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't even know if he still makes music. But Mouse the rapper, we both of them. We went to SEC. We met him at SEC. Found his shit on MySpace. I gave him maybe 3 to 4 beats, and he literally recorded, rapped, and performed like live on 2 of them. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Like, that's an amazing feeling to make a beat or make anything and give it to somebody and have them perform on it. Yeah, like, I don't even know how to describe that. Like, it didn't bring tears to my eyes when it was happening, but when I got home, like, I legit cried, because again, he could be big now, I don't know, but he had an audience. They were rocking with him, and they were rocking with my shit. Like
Yeah.
that's a good feeling.
That is a good feeling. Yeah, it is.
That's a
Especially
good
like,
feeling.
you know, when I DJ and stuff, and I just see people like when I saw you guys at the dance party, and
Yeah.
people were vibing on it. You know, when I was spinning like these old house records and then playing like Cat Daddy or whatever,
Yeah.
and everybody's like just getting down to it. You know, I don't just play Cat Daddy; I play other stuff, but it was a dance party. But yeah, it's a good feeling to hear
for
that
sure.
because then you know you see people vibing with it. And I talk about that on the website. It's like, you know, I call it the bump because it's that bump that you feel, like you hear that speaker, you know what I mean? That feeling. And the reason I bring up the whole thing about like you being ready to rap or have people like on your song is because earlier when we were talking, you were talking about how like you had you sent beats to Willie North Pole and Murs, right?
Yeah,
so tell them a little bit about that.
So the Willie North Pole one, I think we were hitting them up on MySpace. This is back in the MySpace days. 'Cause we had a MySpace page. We were called the Mystery Machines. We went by a few names.
Shout out to Scooby-Doo.
Right? Hey. Yeah, he was like, you know, back, a lot of rappers, they'll just put out an email or something, ask for beats, whatever. And he did that, and like we reached out. He responded. He was receptive.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, so we sent some beats. I think we heard back initially. He was like, yeah, shouts out, thank you. Didn't hear anything after. With Murs, that was funny because it was one of those Adult Swim concerts.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the bar. You know the Chevron on University in, I want to say Scottsdale?
Yeah.
It's right across from the Taco Bell. There's some bar right next to it.
Right next to, we're across the street from Gus's.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's some like bar next to it, and they like giant parking lot, but they set up a little carnival type thing, and Murs was performing. There were some other people, but we went for that.
Yeah.
And like at first we couldn't get in, so it was funny. Like I think there's a Jack in the Box, but there's something else right behind it. So we like parked there, and we're just like watching the shit from behind the like stage and everything. It's still dope, but like once he was done performing, I think they kind of like let people in.
Okay.
So we came in, slipped him a CD. Slipped his, I think his wife was his manager. Slipped his wife a CD. We slipped somebody else a CD. So, and I mean, I'm giving him one, he's giving him one. So everybody's getting like, it's like 2 to him, 2 to her, and somebody else. So there was 6 CDs given out that night. And so like I was saying, like if I ever hear, I remember Michi made that beat Lack of Motion. We did one together. I can't remember what it was, but like there was a few beats, and I don't think I have any on here, unfortunately. I might have one. Weed brownies, but let's say I hear I did sample something, but if I hear it the way I sampled it, so I'm jumping around a lot, but Dilla went through something similar to this. You ever hear that song "Do for Love"? "Do for Love" by Tupac.
Yes,
That's
has that Bobby Caldwell sample, right?
If the drums, those are Dilla drums, and if you look it up on Wikipedia, he gets a co-credit because whoever produced it, they kind of took what he did and just made something else out of that. Kind of like with my Slowed By shit. Like if I take Late by Kanye, which I kind of did once, and then just chopped it up different and made something. But Kanye needs a production credit.
Yeah, I think Flylo did that with the deal with the Fall in Love too.
Yeah.
Right? With
So
Slum Billy.
he probably had
it was a tribute, but he
probably
kind
had
of
a
flipped
blessing.
it, put his own thing on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't give Dilla credit. He was fighting that, and yeah. So let's say I heard my own shit chopped different, I might have a little bit of a problem with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am sampling, so
right. It's like you can't get mad at that. But yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of respect your craft, and you know, it's like me, like you know, with DJs, you know, you hear like how certain DJ flipped the track, like a transition, like oh, that was so clever, like that. He chose that wordplay. And then he flipped it to this record, like blew my mind. And to like copy that and whatever, you know, I take influences, I ain't gonna lie. You know, and I'll be like, oh, well, he did it like that, but what if I do this and that? You know,
we're just talking about like how Alchemist influences me. So, yeah.
And so like, I mean, you can't get mad at that, but like if somebody's blatantly ripping you off, we got a problem.
But again, Murs and me, like we're talking, there's levels. To
this. So Murs is crazy, but
thank you.
You know, so you know, we're going back to your, you know, how you kind of grew up, you know, listening to all those different kinds of music. Now, obviously, you've been through a lot, and you know,
I'm kind of glad we're gonna get into this.
Yeah. So you know, I personally know some of the stuff that you've been through with battling some of the things like your health and stuff like that, and you know, how has that kind of affected you as far as music wise, and like maybe even just overall from you to like progress, or even when you're making music, like how has that shaped you?
Man, so I'm not sure how I want to start this because I don't want to like put too much of my own shit out there unnecessarily. But
Yeah, just whatever you feel like, you know.
So I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2014. But going all the way back to high school, Amici can probably attest to this if he can remember it. But sophomore year of high school, we're shooting hoops at Eldorado Park. Shouts out to Eldorado Park. Right across the street from Coronado, we're shooting whatever. All of a sudden, my left arm feels light. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is that? Like, that's weird. It feels weird. That goes on for like days. So I eventually tell my doctor to go to the doctor. They're checking for heart because left arm.
Yeah.
I have heart conditions in the family. My uncle Bud, named for reasons you can kind of think. His name is James Jr. He died of a heart attack. My mom, we're skipping ahead, but my mom had a heart attack same year I was diagnosed with MS. We've had a few people just die from, heart disease or heart attack or heart-related illnesses. So, they were checking for that, didn't find anything. Eventually it went away. Skip some years. Do you remember Mr. Bertrand?
Yes, Mr. Bertrand.
Whoa. Anybody else remembers him? I'm in his class. This is senior year, I want to say. So, 2 years after this, I have back pain right here. So, for you can see it, the cameras probably can't, but right where the kind of spine and neck connect. Yeah. That's where I'm having a lot of pain in class, and I'm not understanding why. I go to the doctor, they're doing x-rays, not seeing anything. Skipping ahead, like many years, this is around 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out. Yeah. I'm playing it, I'm online, then launches, I'm playing the shit out of that. Eventually I while I'm playing, my hand just kind of does this, and I'm wondering, what the hell? Now, I think we talked about, I'm not going to name no last names, but we were talking about Charlie earlier. I think he had carpal tunnel. And so around that time, I think we worked together too. So I was thinking, oh shit, maybe I have carpal tunnel. Yeah. He used to work for the city. So I go to the doctor before anything is found out. My left hand is feeling numb again. I probably just blocked the mic. Tingly. Yeah. It starts going up my left side. Then my right hand's feeling that. Starts going up stop there at the wrist. Left leg, whole upper body, right leg, all of my junk. Everything goes numb, and except for my right side. And go to the doctor. They start doing MRIs. They find out I have MS, which is funny because I diagnosed myself before they even told me. Just looking on WebMD and looking at, I know that's, but, I know, right? But hey, I mean, I'm just typing in what the fuck's wrong with me.
Yeah, I hate going with MD because I have cancer or some shit.
For real. Hey, when they did the test, they test for every disease, every STD. They test for everything. MS. So, yeah, I mean, even before that, we were talking about it, and I was saying, I might get teary-eyed or whatever, but I had depression issues. Music has helped. I mean, let's be honest, it saved my life. There's been times where I was just going on Facebook. So I had a song. Did you ever hear Zombie Circus?
I don't think so.
Shouts out to Draylin Jordan. I let them hear that once. I think it's still on Facebook, actually, but it's me rapping. Okay. And I also did a note on Facebook called Frowny Face. And I mean, I'm going to pull it up a little bit. And like, this shit's dark. Like, I was not in a good place. And this was 2012. So, I mean...
So it was like right before your diagnosis then?
It was 2 years before that. And this was just depression. I mean, to be honest, if you look into MS and the symptoms of it, it causes the low thoughts, depression, mood swings. Moody, harrelson, now you get it. It's called Frowny Face. It's still on there. I made it August 14th, 2012. Part of this is part of the verse I used in Zombie Circus. But it says, for anyone out there who thought they knew me, that's fool me. It's the true me on loose leaf. Anytime I ever spoke on a new me, don't get confused, be it's just a kid that I used to be. Full of exuberance, hate, cause I'm super pissed. My head was fucked raw after the sessions with Julie. A badass shrink bitch making my dick shrink, trying to get in my mind while I'm catching these feelings. Manic depressed, tried synthetics for the help. No sympathetic help, became pathetic to myself. Screamed for a medic or divine intervention, and I still ain't got shit, so I'm fucking done with it. But I've been thinking, I don't need to mention that part, but yeah, the next part is where it gets dark. It's like I really hate my life. I hide from the light. Late nights with no sleep, suicides on my mind. I promised I'd talk about it, but became accustomed to it. Now the thoughts are ever prevalent. I'm scared to move through it. Again, I'm not going to read any more of it, and you've seen the shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I was in a dark place for a very long time.
Now, did you feel that way because you knew something was wrong and you couldn't figure it out, or you were just feeling that way because how you felt physically, or maybe both?
It's a little both. And I don't know if you knew. And then you watch the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
Go back and watch any episodes when he has a guest on who's talking fast, kind of like I am, because he'll mention either on it or on the next episode that they seem like they were on Adderall. I was prescribed Adderall from when I was 7 to I was 21. 22 is when 2012. Everything, you can see how things link up. I quit it cold turkey. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. I did that with Lex, bro.
Bro, the withdrawals I had were like bad, and again, like that could have been a result of some of that. I wouldn't know, and it got bad. I have videos of beats that I would make over time on there. There was one. I interpolated an Eminem song, drug ballad. I called it Dark Ballad, I believe, and again, that was more or less a suicide note in rap form.
Yeah.
And the cover, and what's funny is like looking back, people like the shit, yo, that's dope. But like the cover was a knife. A knife that I kept mentioning that I kept in a drawer next to my bed. For like 3 years, I kept it there. Just in case. Like shit was dark, man.
Damn.
And like, I don't mean to like bring all this up like this, but like shit got dark.
Yeah.
And to get back to the music, it saved me. It was a saving grace.
Yeah.
Anytime I felt something really bad, I went and I would make music. I went and I would just chop beats up. I would look up samples, just listen to samples, listen to it slow, listen to it high, high pitch, low pitch, just anything to get my mind off of whatever I was going through. And then I tried to make things to express it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, there was a good time where I didn't make much because actually putting something in order, sequencing it, all of that was just too much. But the act of doing something in that realm, like kind of like, like Nestor paints. I imagine if, let's say he was just having he might not make something, but just doing it, like I imagine that can help.
Yeah, it keeps your mind occupied for sure. Things, and I think we can all relate. I mean, when we're going through some shit, it helps to have that your mind busy with something, preoccupied, and I think it kind of keeps people going. And a couple examples where I can kind of see the correlation or like parallels would be like Dilla. I mean, Dilla had a disease as well, and he was just doing what he loved till the day he basically passed away.
Yeah, for sure.
And you look at people like even Richard Pryor, like he was going through like a lot of shit. I remember like Joe Rogan talking about this. Yeah, so and like he was going through that whole thing, but he would even show up to like the store.
Play that beat later too.
Yeah. But he would show up to the store, like the comedy store Joe Rogan talking about, like and just even being in a wheelchair. But as soon as he got on stage, he felt like Superman.
I sampled one of those performances, so
yeah,
I get it.
So it's definitely something that keeps you going, and it's crazy because like it's cliche to say like it's always there when you need it, but it really is. Yeah. I mean, it's just so therapeutic.
I've been saying for the longest time, express yourself through art. Like I'm looking at all these cameras, express yourself through art. Like who cares if someone else doesn't like it? I had a kid straight up tell me like your shit's trash. I'm like, so what, man? It's helping me, like for real. They told me like again a beat that I could say the smile. Like that shit helped me get through shit. Yeah. And they told me it's trash, and I don't care. Like that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for them. I'm not And that's why I'm trying to get more serious, because I want to maybe start doing it for people. But since the beginning, this has been therapy for me. It's been a hobby for sure, but it's something I fell in love with because it saved me.
Yeah.
Like,
sure. And that's like the most purest form. It's like, if you're doing it because your heart is in it, rather than you're doing it because you're trying to get famous, or you're trying to, for a reaction, for the likes or whatever, I don't feel like it's genuine. And, you know, and I felt like that way too, because, you know, I was in a rut going through some shit too as well. And like, I didn't want to DJ, I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
And I just felt like nothing inspired me. And again, like, I was in that depression mode too as well. And the thing that brought me back was music. It was honestly going to my friend's show, seeing them perform at all these places, and like saying like, damn, like people are vibing to it. Like, it might only be 10 people here, but people are like vibing to it, and people will want to hear it. And I'm like, you know, I want people to hear what I'm trying to express through music.
For sure. Through
DJing, you know, I don't want to, there's stuff that I want to play that like, I'm like, damn, like people got to hear this. Yeah. You know? And that's the reason I do it. And I feel like you're the same way. Like you just feel like you want to put it out there for people to hear.
But bro, on the base level, this was for me.
Exactly.
Like, the smile beat I keep mentioning, it's called that because I needed to tell myself to do it. And like what the guy saying in the beginning, not necessarily anything, how the beat sounds too. I've been saying that for a minute. Now, again, I'm not going to name no last names, and this person in particular I tried to reach out to so I could, because I was going to plug their music as well. But she's an ex-girlfriend as well, but she raps. I believe she sings too, Ray. You guys can kind of, if people who know me, you know her, but I remember telling her when I think we were still dating, or we had just broke up, I had made a beat and I told her like, listen to it and like feel it, because you can, it was that, if you ever heard Where's My DeLorean, but like, I remember Amici said like, it just sounded dark, and the sample I used, J.O.B. Orchestra, I can't remember the name of the song, but it just sounded, there was like pain in it.
Yeah.
And that was right, I want to say that was 2012-ish, 2013 or so. So I was in a lot of pain, like inside. And that's the thing, like if you remember that time period, I'm not sure if we were like talking or if we were like good friends or anything at that point. I know me and Michi, Jordan, shouts out to Michael, Draylon, we all were, and I don't think they had a clue. And I kind of mentioned the Adderall, and I didn't mention any of the other like drug problem I had, but I had another drug problem. So, yeah, man.
Crazy. Yeah. So, you know, going back to the whole samples thing, like, do you feel like you'll be in a mood, for example, like a sad, dark mood, or maybe even happy and joyful, like the smile samples? Do you feel that like kind of influenced, you know, what you would search for? Like, you would throw on a Roy Ayers a record to maybe reminisce about like the good times with your mom and stuff like that. Is that like what you kind of like the thought process?
Again, I'm not going to name names, but a recent one, and like you bringing that up sparked it up. It's called July 11th. I'm not going to name names, but if you know the person's birthday, you can probably figure it out. I was also dating them this past summer, or I don't know what we were. I got ghosted, man.
It's funny how like relationships influence like music.
That's what I'm saying, but the song at first when I was making it, because when I started making it, I was like pissed off and I was feeling like hurt because I was being ghosted in the process. And so it was real slow at one point. I might even play the original version. There's like 3 versions of this. There's one version where it's like the sample's really pitched low. I don't know if you heard July 11th yet.
I think I did, yeah.
But it's a Mayer Hawthorne sample. I Wish It Would Rain. So you can kind of see that's a sad song. I love that song. But pitched down made it sound darker. And then at some point I was like, fuck it, man. Like, why am I pitch that shit up? I sped it up, and so I mean, sometimes you'll go into, let me look for a sample that's fitting how I'm feeling, and then you'll like go into the beat that same way, but your mood might change and might change up the whole beat. Yeah,
kind of go like on this bipolar.
That Juice one's another one. That same thing. It was slow, and then I sped it up and put a Dave Chappelle sample instead of some sad shit over it. So.
But that's cool though. That like you like to experiment with things, and you're not afraid of like the result. Because I feel like if you do and you expect it, like go in with no expectations, and you're gonna come out with something great.
Yeah.
And that's good that you get to experiment with that, and you kind of just flip it up. And what would you say, like right now, like talking about samples and stuff? Like, what are some of the things that you're listening to now? We were just talking about the Action Bronson and Alchemist, Lamb Over Rice. If you guys haven't heard it, check it out. But what I know you have your playlist and stuff. Jimmy Two Joints. Check it out.
I just have to remake that. It's gonna be back on Apple Music pretty soon.
But like I know that you had some influences before, like Dilla and stuff like that. Ninth Wonder. We'll go into that. But like, who are you listening to now? That's like kind of inspiring you right now.
Definitely Alchemist. I want to say his name is Derringer with Griselda. All these Griselda niggas. Conway, whoever's producing for them, Westside Gun, Benny the Butcher, whoever's producing for them, which I know Alchemist is.
Damn. I just got put onto Westside Gun just recently. Man. Damn.
So we're going to talk about this wrestling shit soon, but like, I'm a big fan. Derringer, I believe is his name, and if I'm fucking that up, I feel bad because I fuck with him. There's some other people. So have you heard Earl Sweatshirt, Randall Black Dude, I believe his production name. He fucks with these, they're called Slums, I believe. They're all I think based in New York. I'm not sure who's doing their beats, but that whole style I fuck with. It's a little slow, a little gritty. Well, it's very slow. If you've heard Earl's recent shit, it's a lot like that. Yeah. And he might be doing the beats for them, honestly, but that has been influencing my shit, which, what's funny? To switch gears a little bit, I've been really back into Daft Punk. Okay. And back into, I've been listening to a lot of Tame Impala, so I've been doing more electronic shit now. So yeah, that's been influencing me heavy recently. Damn. Honestly, a little Jesus is King, because I've been fucking with gospel samples, which I can also credit to Alchemist and Budgie.
I was gonna say, I remember you were talking about I think it was Budgie. You were saying that he kind of did Jesus King before Jesus King was out.
Yeah. I mean, he had there's Holy Ghost. I think I got Holy Ghost on 4 or something. So there's more than one. And then him and Alchemist did the Good Book Volume 1 and 2.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, they did that, and in my opinion, especially if you go to the tracks where there's no rapping, so they're just using samples, either gospel song samples or a preacher. It's so much better. Yeah. You're getting the message across better. But anyway, that's a different topic.
If you guys haven't seen the Jesus King thing, watch it. We go deep into that, so.
Fuck Kenny G. Still.
AKA fuck Kenny G. Shout out to the bum ass money. That's dope though. So, it's funny because like, I think you and Amici were like, because, we all had cliques in high school and stuff, we all hung out. Like, I hung out with the emo kids, I skateboarded, listened to like My Chemical Romance, Hawthorne Heights, and all that shit. And then like I hung out with the Cholos, listening to like the Spanish rap, Mr. Capone, Mr. Shadow, all those dudes, Lil Rob.
Shouts out Lil Rob.
And then, but like I would hang out with you guys, and then like we were playing basketball, and I feel like we kind of went through phases. Like we were like that backpack rap kind of stuff, Little Brother, Tribe. We would listen to like, all these Ninth Wonder beats, like.
I was in high school, because you gotta remember in middle school, I was still on crunk shit. I was still on all my Southern, West. I was listening to a lot of NWA, Dr. Dre. We'll get into Eminem in a little bit, but like Eminem heavy, like really, that was a lot of only what I listened to in middle school.
Yeah, so. But I feel like you guys kind of like put me on to that stuff. Cause I didn't know about Doom. I didn't know about anybody like at all. You guys were talking about like Madlib. I was like, who is this? Like all this.
Jordan and Amici both. Amici back in middle school put me onto Dilla, which I gotta be honest, I heard Dilla a little, because again, he did some shit. He did Slum Village, because Kanye had a record with them, and Dilla did some beats for Farside on their second album. So I knew who he was, but didn't really know who he was. And Do for Love we talked about a little earlier. That's fucking Dilla. So. Michi and Jordan put me on to Dilla, Madlib, Doom, a bunch of others, to be honest. But like, the way we went through those phases was crazy, because by the time senior year hit, we were pretty much kind of on Lil Wayne mostly. Drake was popping, so yeah.
See, and I got late. I was late to that train, like the whole Neptunes and Clips thing.
I was too long.
And like Diplomats, like I was the one that I really fucked with. And I'm bringing that up because like somebody, I saw something else on Twitter where people were like had a picture of like Kanye and Pharrell, and they're like trying to say like if you had to choose one, what would you go with? What would you think? What would you go with?
Oh, Kanye and Pharrell.
Yeah.
We talking current?
I mean, I guess we're talking like the whole picture. You know.
What year is it from?
Well, it just kind of said like, you know, I forgot. It was talking about like how many tracks. I think like Pharrell, it was just like some stat where he had like 80% of the airplay in like I think the early 2000s or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kanye, I mean, for a period, you know, he was just kind of like everywhere. I mean, he was doing beats for, you know, fucking Estelle.
Bro, I just found Late Registration, so you can't answer this question.
The Game, you know, like, you know, Wouldn't Get Far. Ooh, I love
that. I might have to say Pharrell, though. Damn, Wouldn't Get Far. Man, no, see?
Ooh, baby. Yeah. That I could just listen to that song. As you know, we were talking about like we could listen to songs without like any talking. Yeah. That's a song I could listen to just the beat.
Same.
Remember when we did that Boost Mobile commercial?
Yes.
Outside, West Side. You know.
That was all like Kanye, Ludacris was in that.
Yeah.
Somebody else too.
It was The Game.
Yeah.
It was The Game. It was a Boost Mobile commercial. I downloaded that song and
one of the kids was, would you get this walkie-talkie app on your... I'm like, that was Boost Mobile. It's over 10 years ago. It's the same stuff.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like I was watching, what's that? I think it's Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like how the shape of hip hop is now. And they're saying how like...
Yeah, 'cause somebody said it's like trash.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody says that, every old head.
Exactly.
You know? But they were just kind of saying that like attention spans are growing lower, and like we literally are like maybe a few years away from just getting like 1 minute songs. Like, what do you feel like that's where it's going?
You heard Tierra Wax project? Every track's a minute long.
No way.
So we're low key. I think that's her like one official thing that's out. Everything else has been like singles and stuff, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, she has a project out. Every track's 1 minute long. So it's like 15 tracks, 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, a lot of these new rappers, I didn't check out Lil Pump shit, but I heard a lot of the tracks, nothing's over like 2:30. So.
Yeah, I remember I had a phase when I was listening to Lil Pump. But yeah, they're like 2 minutes long and stuff like that.
I mean, if you look at my beats, I'm in the same boat, but that's only because most of my shit's just snippets I never finish, so.
Yeah, not like a full song, like.
Yeah, I mean, I got plenty of full, don't get me wrong, but yeah, like this, the Dunder Mifflin, that's some bullshit, but that's a minute 45. So, yeah, no, I can see that being the way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy to think because, like, you know, I mean, even with like social media, I mean, we have Vine videos 7 seconds long, like TikToks or whatever. It does feel like the attention span is kind of like growing little, like not little, smaller.
Yeah.
And whereas like back then, like I was going back to the Pink Floyd thing, I was listening to like Adam Hartmother, and it's like a 30-minute track.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, who can sit through that? Even like Bohemian Rhapsody by like
It's a long
like
song.
7 minutes long. And it's like, damn, like those days are like pretty much over.
Like, again, I'm on late registration. Even track length is just completely different. Late registration is 21 tracks. There's a bunch of skips on there, but yeah, Gone, I believe, is like a 7-8 minute long song.
Yeah,
like there were long songs.
There's a lot of songs like that where he I Wonder is another pretty long song. He's got an instrumental part in that too. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but you know it kind of like forces people to be a little creative with like that short period of time.
True.
Now like going back to like the state of hip hop, because like I feel like it's more accessible to people now. Like people literally like you can just put out a song on SoundCloud today and be announced. But do you feel like it's a little, it's like detrimental to the genre because now everybody's trying to sound like whatever everybody's listening to, that you can't really identify people from like, you know, this person or this person.
I can't speak to it, and see, again, I feel like a big head when I say that, but I feel like my shit doesn't sound like much of anything else. And whether for better or for worse, I like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it definitely does that because you look at some people. I'm trying to think of somebody.
Because like I saw a thing where it was like, you know, and I haven't really listened to his music, but like The Baby.
Yeah.
Like they say that his producer or like the music that he has, like it sounds like all very similar, like all the beats.
What was that? Walker Texas Ranger came on shuffle. I was on Pandora or something that came on, and whatever something off of his what is it Kirk his new thing. I haven't listened to any of it, but something like that came on a few songs later, and just me talking and not paying attention, it felt like the same The Baby song just.
Yeah,
and there was
so
something.
like it sounded like it sounded like Should.
Yeah, literally. I remember seeing that meme. And that stupid boom, 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 boom. That bass shit. He does that often.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like we were on waves. Like everybody tried to sound like Playboy Cardi a few years ago, and then everybody tried to sound like Travis Scott.
That's exactly why I wouldn't be able to produce a track or somebody's album, like, or why some people. A perfect example why sometimes a producer shouldn't, because, for example, I got 2 beats with the same drum pattern.
Okay.
And The Baby does that, or whoever's producer does that, or he uses the same 808s at the same pitch.
Yeah.
So, or in the same key. And when you get to there'll be, and it's the same problem I had with Jesus is King compared to Yandi, if you've heard the leak now.
Yeah, I did.
You gotta make things flow well. And they'll like try to, well, let's just put this here, and that track doesn't fit there.
Yeah. And
The Baby has that, there's so many artists out right now who have that problem where you might have good songs, but the order of it is terrible. It doesn't flow well at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, having the same producer on every track, or at least on a bunch, and then again, however you're ordering it, that's gonna make it sound. It's gonna make you sound very repetitive.
Well, it's about the whole presentation. Yeah, you know, you can. Well, we talked about it on Jesus King. Like, there's some tracks where they felt totally out of place. Like, I don't know about that. But yeah, like, and I'm glad that you say that, because, you know, I was going to point out and say, you know, even though there's a lot of people who sound the same to me, and this is where I've struggled to get back into hip hop lately, you know, because I've been on this rock, house music kind of kick. You know, we all go through phases, you know, but it's been really, really tough for me to say, I'm going to listen to hip hop. But then I started listening to like more like the Action Bronson Alchemist record, that Budgie record You Put Me On, like all that stuff. I'm like, damn, West Side Gun. There's like a whole world that I don't know of that isn't being talked about on the internet
at all. Yeah, and you would never know unless, you know, somebody puts you on. So
yeah, and that's what I was saying is like, is it gone to the point where like it's hard to pick out and choose, like, you know, because there's just so much out there.
I would say yeah, because it's not forced, but I'm in a sense. So like you said, the playlist earlier, I'm basically listening to my same playlist over and over, and it's the same songs, and some of the songs are from like 2015. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to hear. I'm not trying to hear. No offense to nobody, but I'm not trying to hear Kirk. I'm not trying to hear. I just deleted Tory Lane's new shit off because don't sample Pretty Ricky or just that fuck. As soon as I heard that, I turned it off and deleted it. Like I fucked with like 4 songs up until that point.
Yeah,
I was listening to it.
That's the one that he like is like the MySpace looking
pretty much
whatever.
Yeah, he like basically everything from the OOs. Yeah. From our era in high school, he's taking our songs. Like me and Jordan were just talking about this. All these R&B songs that we don't want to hear, he's sampling and remixing. Harry Sprunger goes hard, but
right. Yeah, and that's the problem that I have too. Like sometimes with sampling, there's so many records that are just murdered to death. What's that sample? Like that Uchi Wally sample. Like I think Chris Brown did it. And I was like, this does not sound good. Like, if you're gonna sample that, like, do it right. There was another one too, like, I don't know. There's just beats that just get oversampled, and it's just like, like it sounds cringy. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I just feel like just leave it alone. Like, just.
I can't remember who. So we were talking about Uncle Otis a little earlier. I think before we started, but that second half. Intimate Friends, Eddie Kendricks, I'm gonna say. Big Sean sampled that more recently. I don't think anybody else has used it recently, but he had it on, what was that album called? The one with I Don't Fuck With You. I believe he sampled it on that. And like, when I was about to use it, I was like, shit, it's too close. You know what I mean? And I'm flipping it. I'm just looping
Yeah.
the same way, but I tried to put a little spin on it, and yeah, I mean, but I know what you mean with samples, like people overuse shit. Drive Slow by Kanye, that sample, I believe the song was called Wildflower. I can't remember.
It is Wildflower, yeah.
But Eminem used that. The Non-Porter, I believe, is the producer.
Yeah.
Was in D12. I'm pretty sure he made the beat, but Eminem used that on the Slim Shady LP or EP before the LP. So sometimes samples get used, but when there's a big length in between, I think that helps. Because I can't think of anyone who used it in between that.
Yeah.
It could be someone, but
yeah, and it can be done tastefully. I mean, like Tyler, for that song 911, he sampled the Gap Band's.
Yeah.
And I liked the spin on it. I was like, 911, call me sometime. Like, you blow my mind. Like, he kind of did his own take on it. And that sounded like Classy was playing homage to the original, but it didn't sound like out of place or whatever. It didn't sound like, you know, like
it's kind of my problem with Tory Lanez's newest song.
But see, like, I feel like that was just like, oh, I'm going to just do it just for the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to touch to, like, reach that audience, like, late 20s, you know, late 20s, early 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to sample Pretty Ricky. I'm going to sample, you know, what's the other band? I don't know, like Jagged Edge. I don't know who we sample. I didn't listen to it.
I sampled Senorita from my own Senorita, so I get it.
It's like, what's that DJ Khaled song? They sampled Maria. It was like,
and
wow,
Jackson, but yeah.
Oh, I cannot.
No, I feel you.
Stand. Dude, every time the few times I listen to the radio, the few times I listen to the radio, I'm like, I gotta turn this off. It just sounds so bad, and like
that stupid song made me go out and buy Stankonia. So
yeah,
let's put it that way. Fuck.
See, there's just like things that you just shouldn't touch, and you know, I don't know. That's just me. That's me being old head. Sorry guys, I'm being an old head.
I feel you though.
But going back to like your samples and stuff, I know you got some music prepared for us.
Yeah.
A couple tracks and stuff. You know, if you want to kind of just jump into like, you know, some of the samples and stuff that you used. I know you talked about you have about 6 songs, right? Do you want to play for us?
Let's make sure I have the information for those. I'll definitely play Good Grief. That was inspired by Grief by Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can hear that, but what's dope about that is 100% Sade samples.
Ooh.
The one that I can remember is You're Not the Man.
Okay.
So there's another one where it's mostly her, like kind of, it's not a cappella, but it's just her vocal. But yeah, so I have 2 Sade samples on top of each other. I'm gonna play that later. Ghostface Killer, aka Shaolin Moons. I sampled Ghostface Killer, not from Wu-Tang, but Ghostface Killer that inspired Ghostface Killer. From a Kung Fu movie, I believe Shaolin versus the Wu-Tang. Could be wrong, and it is not. It's not that, and I'm fucking up. But I sampled Executioners from Shaolin on that. I'm gonna play that later. Shalimar, This Is for the Lover and You. For a little context, that was one of my mom's favorite songs. That's one of her favorite bands. And then Hako Yamasaki, Wandering. Again, Jimmy 2 Joints. It's not a name, but it's going to be a project because I have a lot of beats where it's 2 joints. There's 2 beats. It flips in the middle. So July 11th, we talked about that a little bit ago. That's Mayor Hawthorne, I Wish It Would Rain. And also Keely Smith, All the Way, because that's one of the other beats that I have 2.
Yeah.
You know, Fish Grease. I'm not even sure who Bane is. It's not the Batman one, but Stay Away From My Baby. And then
Bane's World?
It might be, honestly.
Yo, that's this band right
Is
here.
it?
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Shane.
I got that shit straight off of...
This is the tape. I got it at the show.
Damn.
Stay away from my baby. We'll
see how this...
Yo, you need to listen to Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll put you on.
Let me know what you think about that then.
Damn, okay. Yeah. I didn't know you sampled
and ODB, Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, acapella.
Beans World.
Oh, fuck. See, I wrote it down a month late. Shout out to Jordan again. I was going to play that for him.
Yeah.
I don't remember the sample for it, though. But there is a blaxploitation sample at the end.
Okay.
The beginning is from a movie that I can't... not a movie, a TV show. Some 60s cartoon. It's funny to me. She's like, there's something about a valve, and she's like, you didn't pull it or press it, and he's like, of course I did, but I don't know, it's funny. Yeah, but when it comes to samples, man, just pretty much any and everything, especially vocal. I get that from Doom. He liked using a lot of cartoons. I've been fucking with a lot of cartoons recently. I got X-Men, Spider-Man, the 60s Spider-Man. Yeah. I fuck with samples heavy, any and all.
Gotcha. Hey man, you gotta draw from all kinds of places and sources, right?
I need to get back more original, but yeah.
Yeah. So you said you're gonna put up a project soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you gonna have it at? You're gonna have it on SoundCloud under your tag Moody Harrelson? Right?
Definitely on SoundCloud, but I'm gonna see what I can do and see if I can get it on Apple. Only problem with that is because if I were to make money, I'm using samples, so then there's copyright shit.
Gotta wait for it to clear.
Exactly, and I ain't got money, so might just have to be on SoundCloud, or if I do anything on Apple, it's gonna have to be all original, or I'm gonna have to chop the way I've done in the past, where you can't tell. So we'll see, but definitely on SoundCloud, Moody Harrelson. I believe there's an underscore. Could be wrong. At least that's on Instagram. But
I'll put the link in the description
for sure. Moody Harrelson though.
But yeah, you guys should check it out. It's really dope, and
the artwork is actually, so if you haven't seen it, it's a picture of my grandma.
Okay.
On my dad's side and my dad, and they're dancing. I'm glad I paused that, but yeah.
Oh,
and then the little, like, the paint, that was me. I was just like throwing paint on it. But so the cover, I don't know if y'all can see that.
We'll put it up on the thing too.
We'll definitely put it on there. That's dope. I'm gonna play that song later. Spanish chick. It's also called Senorita. Sampled Senorita, Justin Timberlake. The other half is Ray Charles. I can't remember the sample. But
nice. Dope. A little bit of everything then. Mary Hawthorne, you got Justin Timberlake.
Man, I listen to pretty much everything, to be honest. So
yeah. Well, that's what I appreciate about you, man. That you kind of you like it all.
Everything up here, like Joy Division, fun now. Like I listen to pretty much everything.
Yeah, tight. So yeah, we're gonna check out some of his music, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. I want to thank Jamie for having me for being on the show and stuff like that. So I appreciate having you on. He's been on a couple episodes, and he's gonna be continuing to be on the show. So I really do appreciate the support and everything, man. Thank you so much. So sit back, guys, and enjoy the music.
For sure. So, like, again, this was about a girl. It's gonna start saying "I love you so much." It's cringy. But again, like, I'm not trying to put nobody's business out there. But we've known each other for almost this entire decade. There was some real shit on it. And so this is called disjointed. I guess my brain is because of MS, and the sound of an MRI machine is because you'll hear it in the sample and in the beat. It kind of like fucks up, but it comes back. It's a reflection of my brain, I guess, done to my brain. But it's also inspired by a lot of Earl Sweatshirt shit. Disjointed. Like right here, you can kind of hear it. I can't even remember what this sample is. I was trying to make some, I don't know, I was listening to, we were just talking about Alchemist yacht rock. I was trying to make something kind of, getting laid back, just chilling, some beach shit. That's how I wanted it to sound. I was saying earlier about like using the same drums, the hi-hat up again. I don't need
That's gonna be a using that though, so. But I thought I had to finally use it myself. So there's been a few. What's
Sounds
that?
good, man. I like it.
That weird ass sound. I used that in a few beats once.
Moody Harrelson.
I forgot to end it with that. That's Jim Carrey. Firehouse or Fire Marshal Bill. Oh, God. Oh, that's July 11th. I guess I'll let it play. I wasn't gonna play it, but this beat went through like 4 changes. There's one with, like I was saying, it pitched down a little slower. There's one with Ric Flair. Yeah. Air Hawthorne. Wish that it would rain. I'm gonna do don't ask no questions next though.
All right.
You might want to end with that one.
All the music sound great, man. Just being straight up honest.
I appreciate that. So in the Ric Flair one, he's like, "You think I'm afraid of you? And then with a sledgehammer, like he's going off at this part." This might be Air Hawthorne said. I don't know this part. I don't remember. I always feel if I don't know what I sample, nobody can try to get me on a copyright. Which is not true.
Clear your samples.
Don't try to make money off it at least. Right here. I'm Ric Flair. Say it right now. Stupid. Don't ask no questions. There's only a snippet on SoundCloud. We'll play the full. It's not full, it's looped over, but oh no, it's not actually. But we'll play that. Oh, I should probably
That's like my favorite.
Start
Listen to James the most. That's like my favorite. My favorite artist.
When everybody started running, brother gonna run. Brother ain't. If somebody got up in this room right now and took off running, about 9 people be like.
If anybody can guess this sample, I'll buy you a box of pizza. Because I didn't do much. I really didn't do much, but I gotta take that dollars. I gotta fix those kicks too. So this is still in the test phase. Oh, wait for Kanye. The fuck does she know about cameras? Oh, this part.
I like that.
Right? It should have been the whole beat, to be honest. That's what I'm saying. I'm still working on this one.
Damn. This would be a good house record.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey. remember doing the
Moodiness disappears.
moodiness just appears.
Fortunately, when this happens, we tend to retreat to the metaphysically supported parallel universe in our heads.
Don't ask where I found that. Shit hits in the car. You gonna end on my birthday song? Only so we can set the record straight of when my birthday actually is. Because a lot of people get it fucked up because of the way it starts. Listen to Jay-Z, you'll understand why when it starts. Oh, there's that stupid ass clap again. I don't know if you heard it. I don't know what I'm doing with that.
Won't let the clap go.
Oh shit, forgot about that. Shouts out to Jordan for this one. So this is inspired by Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun. This half of the beat. But then, I don't know, there was one song, I think it was Benny the Butcher. He just had some random news report of a murder happening, so I had to grab that. These niggas is getting killed in Scottsdale. Don't get it twisted. What the fuck? I don't like that part. So it's my birthday beat. You can kind of see why people get it confused. The Jay-Z song is December 4th that uses the same sample. Can't remember what the sample is, but my birthday and this song is called December 16th. Sagittarius Gang. Shooters. Funny story though, I think Amici, the second half, not the second half, when the beat actually comes in, that sample, Amici had the same one. But I guess I used it first, so he never did. But bro, use it. You got it still, use it. The amount of samples I've used, that fucking Ninth Wonder is already used. I'm still doing it, I'm sorry. This, there's a lot of Kanye inspiration in this. That like, and you hear, that's all Kanye inspiration. The drums too, a little. Those are the crack music drums. But, oh, this is when I fit it. That part at least, because it doesn't go like that. But I tried to, that's what it was, because I did it completely, and he called me out and I switched it up a little. Then I threw in this one.